KILR KILR Game.
Hello, gamers, Minecrafters, builders, explorers, adventurers, survivalists. I am the KILR Gamer, and welcome back to Minecraft Survival Showcase featuring Greenfield, where we explore this huge city that's been created by quite a few people. We do it in survival mode, just because it's more fun, but we go in and out of all the buildings and in between and down in the basement. We see all these little Easter eggs, and there's just a lot of neat stuff that you see when you get more involved with the city and more immersed in it. And that's what playing in survival does. It gets us really immersed into the actual world that we're playing in. So that's the reason why this is in survival mode, and we're going to go ahead and get into the map and show you where we're at and whereabouts where we're going to be exploring. Here it is, Greenfield. Okay, so we got done checking out the H building, which is, oh, that's not it. Here it is. So yeah, we checked out this building here. Let's take a look at these shops here. I don't think we have, not yet. Then we'll take a look at these two buildings here with what looks like a 7 over here. We'll look at those. We'll see how far we get on this one. Okay, here are the little shops over here. Nope, we haven't been over here. I don't recognize Trippy Appliances. Your appliance store. Ah! My mouse keeps getting mixed up here. Trial ovens. Oh, look, coal. Yeah, so I guess you can just come over here and cook some stuff. Yeah. It's not normally that. Maybe I need to clean it. All right. Well, as far as appliances, there's a lot of ovens. Let's check out downstairs. Pretty much the same thing. Have a trippy day! This one's not labeled. Well, moving boxes. Maybe someone's moving in. Maybe there's a... Nope. Thought there might be a sign there. There's not. Harmony Books. They have a franchise here in Greenfield. You see quite a bit of those. Ooh. must check that out. We'll see if the next shop over here has got a way down. John's Retail. Oh, Silver Space. We saw that in another spot. I don't think we went in here. I remember the Silver Space. Oh, the Dragon Heads. Yep, we've been in here. Casual Gamers, we were in here too. Yeah, I remember that. We may have looked at this building already. The Guardian by Charles Smith. See, I mentioned this on a previous episode that those look like jet fighters with the jet stream behind them. So that's pretty neat up there. Oh, we got another statue over here. Is that kind of like the Statue of Liberty? Holding a torch? It's the Statue of Greenfield. Liberty and justice for Greenfield. No entry. Do you think that stops us? No, it does not. Elevator exit. Emergency exit, section 10. Section 10, order restored. Section 11, financial security. Section 12, upstairs. Elevator exit, although I don't see an elevator. Ugh. Kind of gives me the chills a little bit. Section 12, building boom? Yeah, building boom. Thought that might be the elevator. Ah, so we got something new here. Building boom 1940s by the late 40s. Development in Ashfield and in the West area skyrocketed with many industrial complexes popping up, such as the Melrose Industrial Park and Ashfield West. In response to this, many of the older housing areas, such as Riverwood and Georgetown, which were falling into disrepair, were rebuilt. The boom in construction led to many changes in Greenfield over the years, which included big transport projects, new highways, bigger roads, and more subway lines. Section 13, recession. Section 14, high-tech industry and tourism boom. This has got something too. High-tech industry and tourism boom, 1990s. Luckily, at the same time, high-tech industry was on a rise. After the oil dried up in Longport Keys, The port and refinery in Kennedy were cleared in order to make way for new developments. With the oil industry gone from Longport Keys, this allowed the beach to become a great holiday destination, promoting new hotels and luxury apartments in the formerly empty Lincoln Port. Wasn't sure if that said port or fort. We're seeing a lot of interesting things over here. I'm curious, are we missing something over there? I don't know. Is there another floor? Well, there may not be. This was a smaller building. Oh, okay. There's the... Yep. There is the top of the ceiling there. Hello. Hiding out on the ceiling. We'll sleep underneath the stars here. Okay, this was the area that had all those little history things. Let's make our way over here. Let's see if there's anything in here. Sorry, we're kind of destructive here. That's the owner. He's not very happy with us. He's like, what are you doing? Spend all this time. See, there he is. Come on over here. Wah! And my sword is gone! I'll use my pickaxe instead. Oh, he's got my sword. How did you get my sword? Did I throw it? Dang, banging on the doors made me jump. Start the tour. Oh, look at this. Greenfield History Museum. Throughout the museum there are buttons. Press the buttons on the golden blocks to reveal the history. Please enjoy your stay and walkthrough of the museum. So that's what this is. Section 1 Founding. Oh, hi! He must have been one of the founders. Jeez. 1790, Greenfield was founded originally as Hunter's Point, 1790 by... Oh, you know what? We read that. Here's Hunter's Point. Yeah, see, I knew you were somewhere. Anyone else? Don't interfere with the tour. Once Hunters Point had become a village, the local wildlife started to decrease in numbers due to overhunting. New sources of food from farming had to take place. This eventually led to the separation of the village due to land ownership disagreements. The separation led to another village very close by being founded in order to keep the benefits of the location. The second village was named Greenfield. Okay, that's an exit, so we got to go around this way. Section 3, Land Agreement. I'm like looking for him. Alright. As the two villages kept growing, now relying more on farming for food sources, the villages start to grow so big they were both small towns and practically next to each other. This led to lots of arguments and fights over land ownership. They made a deal where Greenfield would have the land towards the east, with Hunters Point having the land towards the west. A bridge was built to cross the Hunters River to the east in order to make use of the land further away. Industrial Revolution in 1820s. Peace was kept for a long time whilst the towns grew until in 1820 when the Industrial Revolution in America was in full swing. In order to be one step ahead and bring more money in, Hunters Point became the first of the two to invest in and to develop industry. However, it had Hunters Point very dirty and filled it with smog. Okay, now I'm interested in something here. And that's to see if there is a Hunters Point on the map. Let's find out here. Okay, so this is the map with all the districts. Okay, yeah, right here. Here it is. Just south of downtown. So there's Hunters Point. So it's neat how they have this lore and everything established here in Greenfield. Section 5, In Come the Rich. '30s. In response to the new industry, developments attracted some wealthy investors to the city, and in response to the dirty, smoggy Hunters Point, they built large housing developments to the east and Greenfield for the middle and upper class citizens. By 1860, there was a huge segregation in class between the rich and the poor, which made the city highly desirable for rich people. Rich people, always ruining the fun for everyone else. All right. Let's keep moving here. Around the tour. Did we miss this? No, that's... yeah. We already hit that one. Section 6. 6. Merging of the two towns. Make sure we didn't pass a gold block here. There it is. After a while, the rich began to become unhappy with having their businesses in one city and having their home in another due to having to pay a toll to cross the border between the cities. This was followed by the merging of Hunters Point and Greenfield, which saw the two cities become one in 1872. The city was then named Greenfield from the ruling of the rich. See, like I said, the rich, they ruin everything. Section 7, more houses for the poor. By 1870, worker housing was in high demand. The rich responded to this by creating large, low-quality housing developments in the West, which created Barron's Bar, this to keep the workers close to their place of work, but also to keep them away from the nicer areas towards the east. Section 8, larger buildings and city declaration. Ooh. That seems to be missing. Okay, I had to open up the text option to read all this. As the poor kept getting flushed out further west, many of the older workers' housing in central Greenfield were demolished in order to build bigger corporate buildings in the center of the city. By the 1920s, Greenfield has already seen its first skyscrapers with a subway system being built alongside. During this time, the eastern waterfront was developed to accommodate more of the middle class. Larger Art Deco buildings and beaches came together to make Sea Haven and Whitestone. Greenfield in this time was officially declared a city in 1929. Section 9, Rise of the Working Class. June 1931, another mayor siding with the rich, Thomas Barton, was elected despite polls being far in favor of the opponent, Gregory Hale. The results of the election were believed to be tampered with. That doesn't happen today, does it? The lower classes to the west had enough of being ruled by the rich for so long. They began rioting in the streets, setting fire to corporate buildings and houses of the wealthy. Parts of, I almost said parties, parts of central Greenfield were devastated as a result. Parties! They were having parties in central Greenfield. Emergency exit. Section 10. Order restored. Okay. We've been in here, right? After years of chaos, in 1934, Thomas Barton decided to step down as mayor. The lower class of the city took control and re-elected a fairer mayor. Say that 10 times fast. Fairer mayor, fairer mayor, fairer mayor, fairer mayor, who was Gregory Hale. Gregory started not only to rebuild and restructure the cities after the damage, but he turned the city into a city of the people, where all classes were treated as equal. Section 11, Financial Security. Got to open up the... I can't read the whole thing. There we go. Let's see, 1940s. After many years of success against the working class, Greenfield was starting to lose money without the rich property investors. After Hale's term as mayor, a new mayor was elected and promising financial security for Greenfield by adding the nearby Ashfield County to the city. We've been in Ashfield. That was some of the earlier episodes of the series. This would also result in opening up and further west and north for development, whilst employing schemes involving tax breaks to make Greenfield more attractive to large corporations. Oil was also then found along the southern shoreline in Longport Keys, which brought a lot of money to the city. We saw Longport Keys. Well, we haven't been there, but we saw it on the district map. It was down here. Yeah, so here it is. Longport Keys West, and here's Longport Keys East. And Ashfield, that was up here, yeah. So we have the Ashfield West, Central, East. Yeah, this was all stuff that we did early on. And the baseball stadium was over there in Ashfield Central. And Glenview, this is the residential area. Sunnyside was where all the rich folks were living. Section 12 upstairs. That's what we did. This is what we did to get to the roof. The building boom. I think this was the last one. By the late 40s, development in Ashfield and in the West area skyrocketed, with many industrial complexes propping up, such as the Melrose Industrial Park and Ashfield West. In response to this, many of the older housing areas, such as Riverwood and Georgetown, which were falling into disrepair, were rebuilt. The boom in construction led to many changes in Greenfield over the years, which included big transport projects, new highways, bigger roads, and more subway lines. And then the recession, we saw that. See, we came in here and did things in the opposite way because we didn't know what it was we were looking at. The boom continued until the early 80s when recession hit. The oil dried up and the increasing costs of manufacturing couldn't compete with Asian imports. Many industries closed its doors during the 80s, and by the late 80s and early 90s, only half of Greenfield's industry was left. This was responded with more tax breaks and bailouts to the companies that were left in order to keep them going. And then section 14, high-tech industry and tourism boom. '90s. Luckily, at the same time, high-tech industry was on the rise. After the oil dried up in Longport Keys, the port and refinery in Kennedy were cleared in order to make way for new developments. With the oil industry gone from Longport Keys, this allowed the beach to become a great holiday destination, promoting new hotels and luxury apartments in the formerly empty Lincoln Port as well. So the Lincoln Port, let's take a look at that. So everything started off here in the middle, which makes sense, because of downtown, Hunters Point. Here's Georgetown. So they talked about Georgetown. Here's Kennedy. Longport Keys. This is where they had all the oil. Now it's like resort and tourism. Riverwood. Okay, they mentioned that. That looks like residential areas. Barron's Bar. They mentioned that. That's over here. All right, any other rooms here? 15, redevelopment of the West. This is in the 2000s and plus. While high-tech industry was on the rise from the turn of the millennium, redevelopment started in the barren, former industrial parks in the West to create more housing and high-tech industries. However, due to chemical land contamination problems, many of the old industrial areas took a long time to prepare for redevelopment. But by today, many of those redevelopments are underway and some even completed. Today, Greenfield stands as a commercial and high-tech industry hub, with the less desirable land towards the west being redeveloped amongst the surviving manufactured industry. And I think that's it. I think that's the end of the tour. Nice. Nice. We'll just kind of break that up there. That was cool. This is a really neat area. All right, this was a really fun episode in regards to the whole history of Greenfield. Lot of lore there, a lot of imagination went into it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and if so, click that like button, share the video on social media with friends and family, and leave some comments because it helps out. Helps out with that whole algorithm thing. More activity it gets, the more chances that other people will be able to see it. And hey, if you're new here, subscribe. Ring that notification bell so that way you get notified of future Minecraft content, which I have a lot of. Going back to Alpha Minecraft and Beta Minecraft, Bedrock Edition. I'll do a live stream of my very first world that I created, and some other exploration stuff, even going up to the modern Minecraft. So, and some of them don't get a whole lot of views and could use some love. So if you like my playstyle, I hope you'll check those out. Also, I hope you'll check out Twitch. I do some live streams there as I'm recording new episodes, and it gives you a chance to be a part of the show and see this stuff weeks and months ahead of time, which is kind of a cool thing. And then if you want to get a little peek behind the scenes on things that I'm working on, Instagram, I'll take pictures and photos of what it is that I'm up to. And then Twitter, if you want to keep in the know with what's going on with the channel, that's where you want to go. You want to follow us on Twitter for the official KILR news and announcements. Once in a while, I'll do a retweet of something that I think you might find interesting. Snapchat, well, still working on that one. Once in a while, I'll take a picture and just do something fun with it. And then Patreon, for those of you who would like to support what it is that I do. I greatly appreciate it. And there are bonuses. You get something in return as well. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you on the next exciting episode of our adventure in Greenfield. Gotta say, this was really cool. Thanks again. Have a killer awesome day.